required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carey.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Spring is here, and you know what that means. Those hot summer days are just around the corner, and so are those high utility bills. Don't sweat it out waiting this summer to upgrade your insulation.
Give us a call today to set up your free evaluation at 904-679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Get relief with a needle, not a knife. No surgery, steroids, drugs. You don't need that. You just need QC Kinetics. The future of medicine is here with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, especially as the weather gets better and better here in Northeast Florida, you need to call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522, and get a free consultation with QC Kinetics. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing. He wants to get you relief now. Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522.
Attention all pickleballers, get ready to drink in the first ever Smoothie King Crown Cup on April 27th. Flex your skills and raise funds to benefit the Mal Washington Youth Foundation. Visit malwashington.com for details and registration.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, Hubbard House is here for you. Access life-saving, life-changing resources by calling 904-354-3114.
The Beaches Green Market is a great place for families, friends, and pets to shop and eat local. Come to the Beaches Green Market this and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Penman Park on Penman Road, just north of Beach Boulevard, for fresh local fruits and vegetables, plants, meats, eggs, baked goods, honey, wellness products, ready-to-eat snacks and drinks, and local artist craft goods. If you have an EBT card, stock up on free fruits and vegetables and edible plants. The Beaches Green Market, connecting people to better food. Go to diglocal.org to learn more.
The Fibrix window from Renewal by Andersen. 2023's most energy efficient window by Energy Star. Tough and stylish, it's as beautiful to look at as it is to look through. Right now, save $300 on every window and save $825 on all patio doors, plus zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Minimum purchase of 3 units required for discount. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Countdown continues to the most anticipated WNBA draft in years. All eyes on Caitlin Clark, widely projected to be taken first overall by the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso, among the other stars who will share the draft stage with her tonight. Part of one of the most important off seasons ever for the WNBA, points out ESPN's Chiney Agwumike.
Mind you, the WNBA is only 28 years old. Yeah. So if you look at where the NBA was in 28 years, they were looking for leaps, and then they got Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Not saying that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, but you're seeing a similar trajectory of star power that matters in the echelon of the women's basketball overall.
Janae Greeny, draft coverage 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. NFL, Eagles and receiver Devontae Smith agreed to a 3-year extension, tying him to the team through the 2028 season. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports deals worth $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. Eagles also exercise his 5th-year option for 2025. NBA Suns guard Grayson Allen agreed to a 4-year, $70 million deal.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy. Coming up Tuesday, I'll tell you the draft prospects that I believe are no doubt future All-Pros. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Howdy do, Jacksonville folk. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. I, like you, enjoying the First Coast on this fine Monday. Brian behind the glass, Brian Middleton. Howdy to you, sir.
What's going on, Mike?
They can't see me right now. I'm giving you a little tip of that. They can't see me. I can't lie. I was going to lie and say I was giving you a tip of the cap. I'm not wearing a cap.
Say very John Cena, very Tony Yayo of you. They can't see me.
I'm not wearing a cap, and that's no cap. Just in case you were keeping score at home. Are you okay? You flinched a little bit.
I didn't have my hotkeys ready. No worries. You got away with that one.
It looks like I hurt you a little bit.
Usually better with the bars at the beginning of the show.
You don't like the bars right now.
That wasn't, all right.
Hey, a little show note before we get started. A little housekeeping, if you don't mind. We hadn't had a video feed here since maybe day 2. It's wild. Wild, Brian, because I don't know if you realize this, when the afternoon drive iteration of this radio show, which used to be Brent and Austin and then became Brent and Friends and then became the Aaron Schachter Show, when it kicked off 5 years ago, we were like the first in on video. It was a group project. A couple of us worked together to get it up. It was great.
Nice.
Way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Even made more special by the fact that we were like the little radio station that could. I mean, it's literally usually just like half a person roaming the halls over here and like a dust ball. But no, man, we fought and struggled and the little station that could, and suddenly we were leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. And then the bureaucracy gets involved. Paperwork has to get done.
The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back. Chancellor Palpatine says, no, we can't do this. We need certain approvals from 75 people in triplicate, and we got the video feed taken away. But happy to say, if you're someone who usually enjoys listening or watching us on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, you can now do that once again. ESPN690.com for the audio. If you want to go to YouTube, tomorrow we'll be on ESPN 690's YouTube channel. Sorry to confuse you. We got 24 more hours before YouTube will allow us to do that. But if you go to the Facebook page, it's ESPN 690 Jax. And if you're going to Twitter, it's ESPN 690 Jax. You can watch that live stream right there. So sitting at your desk, pretending like you're getting some work done while you wait for the clock to strike 5 or 5:30.
Perfect.
Now you got some pals hanging with you. All right. Glad to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, man?
Pretty good. I'm still trying to figure out, are we Team Drake?
You've been working hard, I see.
I've been trying to calculate whether
Team
or not.
Kendrick, Team Drake.
Yeah,
have you drawn a line in the sand?
Well, if it was just me individually. But I'm trying to figure out for the Aaron Schachter Show.
You want an official position.
But we talked right before the show started, and you haven't done enough
really
research yet.
I haven't. So here's what I'm proposing to you, because it is the off season of football.
Okay.
And so you know that means we're going to waste a lot of time on non-football related activity. And sure, there's all kinds of sports going on. MLB in the throes of their regular season. The NBA kicking off their playoffs tomorrow, I think, is the first day of the play-ins. We'll talk a little bit about that later today. Certainly golf. We just had the Masters. But no, in the football offseason, I think it's reserved for conversations like you want to have, which is, are you Team Drizzy or are you team Ken Drizzy? So we'll figure that out. You don't like Ken Drizzy.
No, you're trying it out here, man. And it's Monday.
It's Monday. I'm trying to speak the language of you and the rest of the youngs. I'm an old.
Ken Drizzy.
As opposed to...
That might get you hemmed up over on the West Coast if you're saying that after what just dropped this weekend.
As opposed to Drizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little confusing for a guy like me.
You're like a hip-hop head.
I do like hip-hop, and I am I got my finger to the pulse, but I do have to dig in on the beef, and maybe we can break it down significantly at some point.
Origin of hip-hop. You're from New York.
At some point this week. But more importantly than that, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it Jaguars news, but we have Jaguars conversation to have today. I mean, not only are the boys going to be in the building this week, I believe. Not only, I think we're going to hear from Trevor Lawrence later this week, which should be exciting. But I'll tell you, one of the things Trevor is probably not going to talk about that might be a little insightful if he would, and that would be Calvin Ridley. Now, you may have thought we were done talking about Calvin Ridley when the man left town a month ago. You may have thought we were done talking about Calvin Ridley when we then broke down that press conference and kind of laughed our way to the end of the show with Calvin doing significant mental gymnastics on how he needs to figure out why he is with the Titans in the first place. I don't know if you remember all that. If you don't, you can go to our social medias and watch the short clip we put up there of us breaking down that press conference. But basically, Calvin was asked by Turin Davenport, hey, man, why are you here? And besides all the ums and ahs and uhs and thinking on his feet, he basically said, number one, I'm great, so I'm not afraid to go to a team that's not, a.k.a. Titans. He thinks you stink. But number two, the money. And while we kind of laughed a little bit when we heard that, the reality is it was real. It might be one of the more real answers we've heard from an athlete in a long time. We actually got an answer like that from Josh Allen, but he kind of did it differently in a way that I thought put money at the back of the priority bus. Like if there were 4 or 5 reasons, money was probably somewhere between 3 to 5 for Josh Allen. It sounded like besting his sister in the family championship mantle competition was number 1. And then building a legacy here in Jacksonville might have been number 2. And then maybe you could throw that $150 million payday in there a little bit. And then everyone likes to throw no state tax in there. But it sounds like money may not have been why we lost Calvin Ridley to the Titans. Jordan Schultz, talking to Colin Cowherd, had a story about the last late hours of the Calvin Ridley negotiations. Brian, I want your take on this, okay?
Okay.
Let's fire it up.
Jacksonville thought they were getting him back. New England thought Jacksonville was getting him back. We know he wanted to stay in the South. At the final hour, Tennessee comes in after missing out on a couple guys the day before, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They weren't able to acquire them. They pivot.
This is interesting, by the way. I want to break into this because we didn't have that information when this whole thing came out. We knew Jacksonville was in. We knew New England was in. We saw all the reports saying, hey, New England's in, but they're not expecting to bag Calvin. New England is expecting, Jacksonville is expecting, quite frankly, Calvin is expecting to go back to Jacksonville. And everyone was just waiting for this magical clock to run out so Jacksonville wouldn't get charged a second-round pick for the deal. What we didn't know, Jordan Schultz is now reporting, that the Titans swung and missed on a few other free agents that would have been significant money for them, a.k.a. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Go to the wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, and he's still thinking Jags, who offered, by the way, dollar for dollar, exactly what the Titans offered.
Hold on, because that's new information now.
Yeah. Breaking news. Wow.
Dollar for dollar is what Jordan Schultz is reporting. We were sitting here, I was sitting here thinking, swearing, knowing in my bones that the Jaguars were not going to offer $23 million a year to Calvin Ridley.
That's a lot, yeah.
Like, I thought I knew this. Apparently, it wasn't the case. They were throwing the whole bag at him. So, interesting to me, number one, the Jaguars would be that bold with Ridley. It tells you a few things. But number two, that even in the face of an even dollar-for-dollar offer, Ridley says no. We'll play the end of this clip, and then we can dig in.
Rand Carthon, the GM of the Titans, gets on a FaceTime with Calvin Ridley, and he says, we're both from Florida. You're going to love the way we treat you inside this building.
Wait a second. We're both from Florida. You're going to love it here in Tennessee.
Hey, we're both from the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Gonna love
the way we treat you.
You're gonna love the way. It's like Men's Warehouse. Rand Carthon, Men's Warehouse Spokesman of the Year. You're gonna love the way you look in a Tennessee Titans uniform.
Guarantee it.
I will say the baby blues are kind of nice sometimes. And to his credit, Calvin had the high level fit on his press conference day with the baby blues and the navy suit. That being said, according to Jordan Schultz, Rand Carthon, the reason why Calvin goes to Nashville.
You inside this building. Halfway through the conversation, Ridley says, no more. I'm in. That's the difference maker, and I think Brian Callahan benefits in a big way.
It does sound a little bit like Ridley, where he's in the middle of the sales pitch. Rand Carthon's probably got like a 7-page script he's working off, a little PowerPoint. Maybe they're on a Zoom. He spent the last 15 hours rehearsing with all the Titans folks at the office. They're all sitting behind the camera. So Calvin Ridley can't see him, and Calvin, like 20 minutes, he'll say, you know what? I think we're done here. I got it.
I'm tired.
We're good.
I'm tired of you talking.
I understand what you're saying. You're right. We're both from Florida. I probably will like how I look in a Nashville setting like that. So he chooses Tennessee. Despite the money, despite what he's built with Trevor, despite all the things he was saying to everybody, privately and publicly, I don't want to leave. I like it here. I like the dudes on that team, building good relationships. But let's be real. It never really felt like a one-to-one fit with Calvin Ridley last year.
Not at all.
I think a lot of times we chalked it up to he's just getting back. He's knocking the rust off. He's doing his thing. I don't think that was it. You'd watch Calvin in these pressers after the game. You'd watch him in the locker room scrums. And then you'd see very similar routines or words, moods, just aesthetic from guys like Trevor, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, even Travis Etienne. All those guys looked on the same page. And then the gaggle would get to Ridley's locker. It would be a different mood. It would look different. I'm not saying it was worse or better than anything else. I'm not saying Christian Kirk handles those guys better than Calvin Ridley. It's not what I'm saying.
It's not what you're saying?
No. Stop. Okay. Are you a little pot stirrer over there?
I'm just saying. It feels like that's what you're saying.
I'm just saying
I'm ready to agree.
It looked different, Brian. It looked and felt different. For instance, after a big loss, you go to Evan Ingram, he's usually somber. You're not going to get much from Evan after a big loss. He doesn't necessarily like to relish in losing. But you go to Calvin, and Calvin's just like one of these positivity guys. Big smile on his face, joking around with the media. This is just a gig. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I think there are pros and cons to both. Just saying it was different. It wasn't exactly a one-to-one fit inside the locker room as far as I was concerned. On the field didn't look like a one-to-one fit either.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you could blame that on a few different things. You could figure out that there are a few different candidates for why that was. First and foremost, you got to hold Calvin Ridley accountable there because the rumors, I won't call them reports, as some people in the city tend to do, the rumors was that he didn't have his head in the playbook. Or if he did, he was taking longer than expected to soak it all in. Maybe there was a desire there for everyone to just find me downfield because he had confidence in his ability to go up and get it or to beat someone down the sideline, which we saw him do all preseason. We didn't necessarily see it during the regular season. As a matter of fact, we did start to hear stories about how some of those difficulties was leading to some of Trevor's difficulties. And how Trevor was mad that Calvin wasn't in the right spots or maybe having to throw a ball where Calvin didn't end up being. And whether those ended up in incompletes or interceptions, pick your play. Now, what Trevor does have are guys like Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and Zay Jones and Travis Etienne who understand how Trevor works. They've worked with him for more than one season. They've had this playbook for more than one season. So Calvin may be odd man out watching these guys cook and going, yeah, I mean, I want to be part of this thing, but I don't know that they want me to be part of this thing. Speculation here.
Yeah.
You don't think that was it?
No. I don't think it got that deep, and it's not a knock on Calvin. I don't think it got that deep for him on this.
What about some of the people blaming this on Press Taylor? What about some of the people saying it was the play selection, the way we used Calvin Ridley, that ultimately ended up chasing him into the warm, supple arms of Rand Carthon and the Men's Warehouse?
Could be.
You're going to love the way you look in Tennessee. Might have everything to do with throwing deep bombs to Calvin Ridley.
But the question would then be, like, did you watch Will Levis? Like, did you? Did you watch the quarterback play in Tennessee at all during the season outside of the 2 weeks that you played the Titans?
Now,
because it's not like things are, so much better quarterback-wise or offensive line-wise in Tennessee at that point in time.
Sure. If you watch the Jordan Schultz clip previous to what I just played you, they were talking about Will Levis. It's how the conversation started.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And so the tone is high on Will Levis right now. The expectations are high, but so is the optimism. People believe Will Levis might actually be the real deal. Granted, he was expected to be drafted 4th overall, slipped to 33rd. So I don't know how real that was at the time, but maybe it is a good fit for the franchise. They went out and got him DeAndre Hopkins, who caught 900 yards worth of footballs. Treylon Burks hasn't really worked out for them, so they go out and get him Calvin Ridley. They go out and get him Tony Pollard. They go out and get him a left tackle. They go out and get him a center. So what you saw from Will Levis last year, take it with a grain of salt, because it should, I don't know that it will, but it should only improve. It should only improve. But you're not wrong. Where you're watching Will Levis, the left tackle and center aren't going to fix the arm accuracy issues on a 50-yard bomb. We know the guy's got a rocket for an arm. You just don't know if he's got his sights on when he's firing the rocket. Is it one of those things like a bazooka where you don't need to be accurate? Or is it one of these things like a sniper, which is what I might call Trev?
But I would even push back, even though that's a good point, about what the Titans have done to help out Levis. So maybe Calvin Ridley is seeing this, or at least that's the plan being laid out to him during this pitch call before he cuts it short by 45 minutes.
He's like, I've heard enough.
Trent Baalke shored up the offensive line in a way that, we didn't know he was going to.
Or at least solidified it. But yeah, with Mitch Morse, shored up the middle, re-signing Ezra Cleveland, but also solidified the question marks on the bookends as well.
And so I'm still going to push back and be like, okay, listen, instead of us going and getting another receiver, like you're that guy. You know how they went out and got Calvin Ridley for the Titans and they had already had DeAndre Hopkins and Tony Pollard. Well, if I'm the Jags, I'm pushing back because I'm like, we don't need to do that with our running back room. We've got one of the most dynamic guys in the league, regardless of what you think stat-wise or injury-wise or how he compares to other running backs right now in Travis Etienne. And Trevor is better than Will Levis, everything remaining the same. And even if everything isn't remaining the same, Trevor Lawrence, at this point in time especially, is so much better than Will Levis. He's been in the league longer. He has had more of a chance to prove it. I get that. From his rookie season to, Will Levis's rookie season, it may be a lot closer than I would be willing to admit.
I would be curious. I think Trevor's rookie season may be worse, but we can compare them, yeah.
But ultimately, I would just push back and be like, all of the things that would attract you to Tennessee, outside of the Press Taylor point that you brought up, which I think is interesting, at least to kind of speculate on. You got that here, if not the same, even better than what you're going to get in Tennessee. And we were going to pay you the same amount of money. One more thing, Aaron, before I give it back to you.
Do it.
The Trent Baalke slander has to stop from you and from Jacksonville. Because now, this coming out, now Trent was like, not only did I get the Josh Allen deal done, but I had a scenario where we were going to have Calvin. Josh was going to be on the tag, but we were going to figure out a deal that way as well.
They were going to get it done no matter what.
So shut your mouth and keep those paper bags in your kitchen closet.
You mean the clown mask?
The clown mask. Knock it off. Okay, Trent Baalke out here, man, listen.
You are wild.
He's being redeemed right now, and I'm over here like the way that Aaron Schachter.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You are pushing your luck.
What do you mean?
Because I have the audio of every show we've done.
Yeah, well good.
I'm going to pull clips. You're going to feel silly.
No. I don't feel silly. Oh, hold on. Silly about what?
Silly about shooting at Trent and then blaming it on me.
Listen,
I'm never framed. I'm a patsy.
I never shoot at anybody that doesn't deserve it. Okay? Either in here or on the streets. Huh? So watch y'all mouth. No, I'm just playing. but seriously, though, all I'm doing right now is recognizing greatness where greatness should be recognized.
Clearly. Let me give you another reason why I think Calvin Ridley thought it was better that he ended up in Tennessee. And I really think this is probably what Rand was focused on, knowing what we know about Calvin. Because I think Calvin thinks pretty highly of himself. You saw in that Players Tribune article. I'm not saying it mean. Don't laugh, Brian. I'm not saying he's like big-headed. I'm saying most of these guys, if you're a professional athlete, you probably have high confidence.
I agree.
Okay?
You should.
And it's not until you reach rock bottom in your career where you start to question it or something like that, because that happens to guys as well. You know this. We've heard it. So you look at Calvin Ridley last year and you go, okay, I'm coming back. Maybe he didn't think he had rust to knock off. Maybe he doesn't think he was at fault for anything that happened. But just on the pure numbers, right? I want to talk about target count. Because Calvin Ridley played all 17 games. Now, technically, Evan Ingram made it to all 17 games, too. He only started 15, though, right? Christian Kirk played in 12. Travis Etienne played in all 17. Zay Jones only started 7, played in 9. But listen to the target share. Ingram leads the team at 143. Ridley at 136. Those are the guys who played the most. Christian Kirk at 85. Had he played 5 more games, you got to imagine it's 6 to 10 targets a game for that man. Maybe a little 5 to 8. Still, you're talking what? Another 30 targets? He's going over 100. 73 targets for Etienne. 64 targets for Zay, which would have grown, obviously, had he not been injured. But if you look at Tennessee, DeAndre Hopkins with 137 targets, the next closest is the tight end, Okonkwo, with 70-something targets. So I'm looking at you going, DeAndre Hopkins on the other side of that 30-year-old margin. And Calvin Ridley going to be a target monster this year, especially with Will Levis liking to go long. That's the kind of quarterback where he's under pressure, he's taking off and chucking it as hard as he can. He's not looking at the sidelines. He's not looking at the flat. He's looking downfield whenever he takes off. And I think Ridley will be the recipient of a lot of that. And I think Ridley with the increased attention from the offense, and I think Ridley as the clear-cut number 1 wide receiver on the team were things that convinced him Tennessee over Jacksonville. So in a way, technically, those of you who want to blame Press Taylor, technically, I don't know that I disagree with you. But I'm not saying it's because Press was bad at what he was doing. I'm saying it's because Calvin's going to get more attention in Tennessee. But not just from the offense, Brian. He's going to get it from the defense, too.
Yeah.
He's going to get it from the defense. And I think they're going to find it a little bit tougher when you're talking about a guy in Will Levis who's not known for his accuracy. Certainly not in the middle of the field. It's going to be tough.
Valid points again, but all I will say is this. The money was dollar for dollar. Basically the same. I think he run it back with the Jags. That's bias speaking in there, and I don't know the other motivations that Calvin Ridley had.
What would be yours if you were him? Why are you running it back?
Well, number 1, I don't have to learn a whole new offense.
Apparently he didn't learn the last one.
And he got paid for it, right?
He get paid for it.
But I don't have to learn. Yeah, I can maybe gather more of those plays. It's more second nature. It's more of a second language to me into this season. And if I've spoken with the GM, with the head coach, with the owner, whoever wants to kind of lay out the plans, and they tell me that they're going to do some of the moves that they decided to do this offseason. Nothing super major, but things that I think were needed for the team prior to the draft.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I think we got something here because we won 9 games. We were 8-3 at one point, and I did have rust on me, even though I think highly of myself. So now I got another season under me. I don't have to think about the play call. I can just get back to Atlanta. Calvin Ridley.
It does seem beneficial, right?
Evan Ingram, they got to focus on him. He just had a historic season for the organization, almost about near for the league. They can't just name me A1 if Christian Kirk comes back, scooting in the slot back and forth. He's going to be giving people problems. Oh, yeah, ETN is still in the back. Yeah, I may not be the main focus in the way of targets, or maybe I will be, but it'll be close. But that lack of pressure, that lack of attention is something that, as you pointed out, I don't think he's going to have that up in Tennessee. Mm-mm. And he might be built for the pressure. He's probably built for the pressure. Guys want that. I get that. But for me, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to get the same amount of money, and I can share the load just a bit more.
And I got help is the other thing. It's not just about pressure. It's like the job is easier when you've got 4 options to throw to as far as being a receiver on a team with other guys. Now, granted, like I said, if you think highly of your abilities, maybe you have something in your head where you're like, I don't want that. I don't want to be one of 4. I want to be one of 1. I want to lead one of 3. That wasn't the situation that was set up here in Jacksonville. Is that something Trevor even wants? Does he want a bona fide 1A? I believe he does. Is that the reason the Jags were going to spend $23 million a year on Calvin? I believe it was. It's just me, though. Not even a report. Just speculation. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Give us a call if you want to join in. Why do you think Calvin left if it wasn't the money? What was it? What chased him to the arms of Rand Carthon, the Men's Warehouse, and one of the most hated rival teams in the Jaguars franchise history? More talk on that when we get back. ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
More sunshine and more warmth on this Monday as daytime highs climb back up into the lower and middle 80s for daytime highs. Will be around 85 in Jacksonville with low 80s at the beaches. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands only at Beard's Diamonds.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Wenner is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Hey folks, this is the time of year I get the itch to start de-junking the house and doing some deep cleaning. At Zero Res, our mission is to become the most trusted provider in our industry. We know that trust is earned through honesty, know-how, and good old-fashioned hard work. We would love the chance to earn your trust. For April, Zero Res is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. You can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move when you're ready with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of our clients, Tyra, said, Mark Spain Real Estate was incredibly informative. Thanks to them, we closed in less than a month. With their guidance, the transaction was more seamless than we could ever have hoped for. I would absolutely work with Mark Spain Real Estate again. I've been in business for nearly 30 years and have served over 50,000 satisfied clients, and I know what matters most, a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjax.com.
Jacksonville, Florida. AEW is coming home to restore the feeling. I am the feeling. For two huge events live from Daly's Place. All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite on Wednesday, April 24th, and delivers a Saturday fight with Collision April 27th.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite Wednesday and Collision Saturday from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Tickets on sale now at AEWTIX.com.
April is National Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, and organizations like St. Augustine Youth Services, or SEZ, are working tirelessly to support victims of child abuse and neglect in Florida. At SEZ, we provide mental health services and a healing space for youth who have experienced abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Visit SEZkids.org for more information on St. Augustine Youth Services and how you can get involved. That's SAYSkids.org.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Touch a Truck is back. Saturday, April 20th at the Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come see fire trucks, police cars, school buses, and more. It's National Healthy Kids Day, so come out and get active. Get your free tickets and more info at ESPN690.com.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Hanging out with you guys up until 5 p.m. Brian, you know I don't normally dig deep into golf. But when there's a big story, there's a big story. And granted, after this past weekend, shout out to your program feed, by the way. After this past weekend, Scottie Scheffler became a really big story, as if he hadn't been already. Obviously, we know the name here in Jacksonville. Two-time Players' Championship winner, back-to-back. Little belly-to-belly. Scottie Scheffler out of TPC Sawgrass.
Belly to belly.
Little,
have to walk me through that one day.
Is that John Sterling? Back to back and belly to belly. It's the Yankees play-by-play guy.
Okay, all right.
Not only is it disgusting that it's a Yankees play-by-play guy, but his home run call is not necessarily great either. That's just me. Look, I'm going to move on from that before I get nauseous.
Okay.
Scottie Scheffler is what I'm trying to talk about, Brian.
Let's do that.
Scheffler carded a 468 over the final 18. He finished at 11 under for the tournament. He beats Sweden's Ludvig Aberg by 4 strokes. Meanwhile, he's become the 4th youngest golfer to win multiple green jackets. Not only win the Players' Championship multiple times, won the Masters multiple times.
Cooking.
Jack Nicklaus did it at 25 years, 81 days old. Tiger Woods did it at 25 years, 100 days old. You had Ballesteros, who did it at 26 years and 2 days. Those guys were younger than Scheffler, who had 27 years old. Once again, 4th youngest golfer to win multiple green jackets. And really, if you look over his last half a year, he's on a dominant run. Really, if you look as the Ryder Cup ended, which didn't go great for him and Brooks Koepka when they faced off against... who'd they play? It was Aberg again. Aberg and Victor Hovland. Once that was done, you get to December. Scheffler wins the Hero World Challenge. It's an unofficial event for the PGA, but still, tournament, 20-man field. He had finished in the runner-up both of the previous 2 years, finally wins the tournament in December. Then you get to 2024. In March, he wins the Arnold Palmer Invitational for the second time in his career. 15 under par, by the way, lowest score since 2018. The following week, he wins TPC here in Jacksonville in Ponte Vedra, becomes the first back-to-back winner in that event's history, shooting at 8 under 64. And then in April now he's won the Masters. Just a ridiculously dominant run for Scottie Scheffler, which
big time
led to you asking me the question, is Scottie Scheffler right now one of the most dominant things out there? When you think dominant, or at least when I do, I think sports, Brian.
Okay.
I think dominant. I think things like, the 96 Bulls. Dominant. The 72-win team.
That's what I hear.
I think, that's what you hear. You were alive, Bubba.
That's what I hear.
The 2007 New England Patriots. Going for that 72 Dolphins record, unfortunately spoiled by the Giants. That being said, dominant team.
Way better than the 72 Dolphins, by the way.
That gross, disgusting baseball team I mentioned that wears pinstripes.
Oh, Yankees. Okay.
1998. Dominant team.
What did they do in 98?
One of multiple dominant teams.
Okay. What did they do in 98? World Series win. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, basically, it was 96, 98, 99, 2000. It was a crazy run.
Okay, I got you.
But it's not just about sports teams. Like, I'm sure you could think of some dominant sports teams that you were a fan of growing up, especially when you're a little kid. You tend to just become a fan of whatever team's the most dominant until you understand what fandom is, until you understand the real pain, the real torture of loving a franchise that doesn't love you back, which we all know very well. All of us, not just Jags fans. But some other dominant things I was thinking about. What is having a more dominant run than Scottie Scheffler?
Okay.
You tell me if you find these things to be dominant.
All right.
How about the PlayStation? I don't know if you can remember back to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, NES, 64, and Sega, Dreamcast, all those different platforms.
Dreamcast.
Remember Dreamcast?
You want something different, ain't you?
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. NBA 2K on Dreamcast was the move. That's where it all started for me.
2K on Dreamcast. All right.
But you look at PlayStation, and I was an Xbox guy, so it pains me to even talk about PlayStation. But here's a platform that's now stayed relevant. Got to be going on close to 30 years, 20 plus years.
Yeah, they're cooking.
And the latest PlayStation platform, it's not like it's slowing down. People are putting this thing on layaway right and left. They're not even thinking about the new Xboxes. It's wild to me how dominant PlayStation has been in the home video game arena for such a long time.
Okay.
You got something?
Yeah, no, I got a couple of things too. I'll give you one right now.
Yeah, give me
so
one
listen, I love what this guy does. Okay, and I think that he could be on this list a couple of different ways. But I'm going to go back to
talking about me?
Well, you're later on in the list.
Oh, okay. I was just
but
checking.
I'm going to go to earlier on in his second career. Okay, and being someone who also had a bit of a speech impediment for a little bit while, I feel like I can.
You're saying you had a speech impediment?
A little bit of a stutter.
What was okay?
For a while, right? We worked through that.
All right, congrats,
Over,
man.
Right?
Way to go.
But the Shannon Sharp's lisp at CBS Sports, dominant, dynastic.
You're saying it's a dominant speech impediment?
Dynastic.
Or what are you saying?
I mean, week in, week out. It was there. You hear me?
This is tough to wrap my head around.
I'm talking about,
struggling
man,
to understand.
I don't want to sound like I'm making fun, but
it does. It sounds a little bit like you're poking fun.
Certain words. I remember watching it on a weekly basis. I'd be like, yo, this guy's going places.
Now,
but boy, I tell you what, it was there. It had a run.
I feel like
he's worked through it though.
I feel like Unk's biceps are bigger than your whole head.
Yeah. I don't want no smoke.
It sounds like you do.
That's why I wanted to preface it with, I love most of the things that he's doing right now, from First Take to Nightcap to the stuff he does with Ocho Cinco to Gilbert Arenas. Like, yo, he's killing the game. Okay, Club Shay Shay. But the CBS Sports Shannon Sharp, if you remember,
not Shannon. His lisp is what you said.
It was dynastic.
You better
72-10 Bulls energy. It wasn't going nowhere. You want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and he beat it. Good for him, man.
Cool. How about Fast and Furious?
Oh, that's a good one.
Fast and Furious has been dominant at the box office now, and it wasn't from Jump. It wasn't from number 1, 2, or 3. It wasn't Tokyo Drift.
That's a good one.
But like once we get to like the end of Paul Walker's run, shout out, rest in peace, Paul Walker. Once we get there, we all discover what Gino Tourette has been telling us the whole time. The whole time, it's been all about family. And we should all start living our life 1/4 mile at a time to the tune of billions of dollars at the box office. So big, in fact, Brian, so dominant was this movie franchise that Vin Diesel tells The Rock, if you don't like it, kick rocks. Excuse the pun. And The Rock says, fine, I'm going to do my own movie with Jason Statham. We don't need Vin Diesel. Just kidding. He's back for the next one. We need Vin Diesel. We need the rest of the cast. They take a Charlize Theron role of the bad guy.
Boy.
Maybe one of the worst acting jobs in the history of acting.
Wow.
I mean, I'm talking worse than the time I was caught cheating in high school by my girlfriend.
There you go.
Worst acting jobs in history.
Therapy. Yeah.
And they still make $1 billion at the box office. Dominant.
Here's my question to you before we continue on with this, Pat. What is your problem with pretty snow bunny actresses? Because it was Margot Robbie last week, and now it's Charlize Theron, and I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Let me clarify.
No, it's not you got a problem.
I will clarify.
Yeah.
Can you just check the listener list for me? Make sure my wife's not listening right now.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, man. I feel like you're good. I don't recognize one of these
good
handles.
Charlize Theron's a great actress, a beautiful lady.
Oh, okay.
And, I'm all about it. I am a fan of Charlize Theron.
Here we go.
The job she did in Fast and Furious.
Came back to it, though.
Was somewhat nauseating.
Wow.
If you had any food at the movie theater, it was coming back up before the end of the thing.
Okay.
It was atrocious. And maybe the role was bad. Maybe the script was bad. I don't know. I don't even listen to words when I go to Fast and Furious. I'm just watching for the car races.
That's true.
I'm just watching for the drifting.
Yeah. The jumping out of helicopters.
Yeah. Do I really need to follow along with the story where they're stopping nuclear war with a Dodge Charger? No, probably not. But whatever Charlize Theron was doing, she needed to stop. She needed to turn to the director and go, can't you just throw me in a car that's going fast? Do we really need to make me say all these words? It was awful.
She said that check.
It was
that check
awful.
got my kids through private school.
It was awful.
Okay.
What about pizza as a food? Pizza was created hundreds of years ago, Brian. Hundreds.
Okay.
To this day.
Oh, hey, here we go.
To this day, it remains one of everybody's favorite foods. I mean, just dominating every other non-dessert food that ever exists. Name another one more popular with everybody. Multiple countries. I can't. Most dominant food I can think of. What, you got something?
I was going to say tacos, but I don't want to start a war.
Can't. Because tacos, all right, fine. Tacos are very popular. Very popular.
Across the world.
Very popular in a lot of different countries. Not more popular than pizza.
French fries?
French fries, I would accept this debate. I would accept it. Because French fries, I'll get with you. That's pretty much everybody's side on every order.
Yeah.
I mean, kids, old people, middle-aged people, everyone's getting French fries on the side.
Okay.
So I might be there with you.
All right.
But pizza, can't do much better than that.
Wow. Aaron Schachter.
You got something else
I
that's
got
dominant?
something else.
By the way, according to Taste Atlas, who did a survey on it, pizza is the most popular food in the world.
Oh, okay. Taste Atlas.
Pasta is second most popular.
Okay.
With almost 14.5 million tons consumed annually.
They're citing their source like Wikipedia? What's their source for that? Okay.
Taste Atlas is the source. What are you questioning? It's on the internet. It's probably true.
All right. Aaron Schachter.
What do you got?
Dominant runs. No longer dominant, but dominant runs.
Yeah.
Mid to late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a big TV guy, but I was at that point in time.
I am a huge TV guy.
USA Network.
Mm-hmm.
They had shows like Monk, Psych,
mm-hmm.
Burn Notice, Royal Pains,
Suits
started.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, I don't know what they were paying the writers for USA Network at that point in time.
Probably not much.
And that's probably why they don't have the same lineup of shows anymore.
Sure.
USA Network was appointment television.
Yeah.
When the sun went down Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday.
I'm with you.
So USA Network, they had a run. They had a Scottie Scheffler type run for that about 5-year period.
I'll give you one more dominant thing as we go to break here. Because the dominant run is still happening.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's benefiting the owner of my favorite football team, Woody Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the Band-Aid. So dominant, in fact, that when you get a cut and you have to put something on top of it to protect it, what do you say to somebody? What do you say? I need a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But they're not called Band-Aids. That's the name of the company. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to go down to the parking lot and take my Ford home.
What's it called?
When it's a Toyota.
Like an
It's
adhesive
a bandage.
Man,
Band-Aid is the name of the company. Xerox was the name of the company. Coke is the name of the company.
Google's the name of the company.
Google is the name of the company.
I see what you're doing here.
Dominant runs.
I see what you're doing there.
Got to give it to Band-Aid. Shout out to Band-Aids.
That was good.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. If you're tired of this nonsense, good. It's over. We've got more nonsense on the way, though. So, sorry to give you the bad news. We'll be back in a minute. ESPN 690.
Hi, everyone. Terry Norvell here, along with Patrick Young from the Young and Norvell Show.
Our show is going great, and we are looking to grow the show with some new advertising partners.
If you're a business owner looking to market your product or service to a male, high-income, and college-educated audience, we are the show for you.
Just reach out for more information with a call or a text to 904-305-7526.
That's right. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll put together a budget-friendly marketing plan on our show exclusively for your business. Call or text me, Terry Norvell. That number again, 904-305-7526, and let's get you on our team.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth, focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Could you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
Snyderman can help tell you whether it's time to repair or replace your system if you answer 8 quick questions on our website. Visit SnyderAC.com and get your answer in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Almost every day we see customers who've shopped around and are totally confused about how to select a diamond. They're looking for somebody that's qualified who'll tell them the truth that they can trust. They've heard about certificates on diamonds, wholesale diamonds, internet diamonds, deals that a friend of a friend can get them, and the prices will range from unbelievably low to unbelievably high. One of the reasons for the confusion is if you look at the factors of grading a diamond, after you know the carat weight, there are 11 grades for cut, 21 grades for color, 11 grades for clarity, so you have 2,541 different possibilities, all with different prices. That's where Underwoods helps straighten out the confusion, because we have the American Gem Society credentialed professionals that'll help guide a customer to the right diamond for them, one she'll be happy with the rest of her life. So come by and let one of our professionals help you at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
If you want low payments, then you gotta go to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned and save today. How does this sound? Just $500 down and only $288 a month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and only $388 a month. Plus, Arlington's Credit for Everyone program and 30-day exchange. Don't wait. Save thousands and shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/April offers for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you one of the nearly 10 million families that own a timeshare? Unfortunately, many families stuck in timeshares have learned the dark side of ownership, as their timeshare ends up being nothing like they were promised. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you were lied to when buying a timeshare, you're going to need help. I know this because I once worked as a timeshare salesman, but quit the business and made it my personal mission to help folks get rid of bad timeshares. That's why I put together a timeshare exit information kit to help you understand how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Over 30,000 families have trusted us to get rid of their timeshares. Many started out by simply calling us for the free information kit and are now timeshare free.
To get your free information kit, call Wesley Financial now. Call 800-837-1919. That's 800-837-1919. 800-837-1919.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. A couple of minutes before we get out for the Sports Center at the top of the hour. Did want to bring this up, Brian. We're going to get into NBA stuff next hour right after the Sports Center, but I got an appointment coming up this week. Supposed to go back to the dermatologist. It's my annual checkup.
Oh.
They check you out for skin cancer, as one tends to do in a sunny state like Florida, with a pasty, iridescent skin such as my own. You ever been to the dermatologist for one of those full body scans?
I have been to the dermatologist.
Whew. It is embarrassing.
But this sounds a bit more in-depth. So
So
why don't you share?
Embarrassing. Well, first of all, dermatology, for whatever reason, and I'm not really sure, and maybe this is just me being short-sighted. I might be putting my foot in my mouth here. But there are some professions that young, pretty ladies flock to. For instance, you're not finding a 23-year-old pretty lady as a janitor at a middle school for whatever reason. Like, she could be if she wanted to, but that's just not what they do.
Okay.
Now, if you tell me dental hygienist, I go, yeah, no, I've seen a lot of pretty ladies become dental hygienists. If you tell me veterinarian, I see a lot of pretty ladies working in those offices. For some reason, the dermatologist office is only filled with young, pretty ladies. And so you go there, and they're supposed to be checking out your skin. They're supposed to be looking at all the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, they are.
And they come down there with a flashlight and a magnifying glass. I'm like, whoa. Hey,
To this day.
Hold on. Hey, let's pause.
Personal foul.
I was like, what's happening here? No one warned me of this the first time I went 2 years ago. And so I'm just sitting there, and I don't know if you know this about me, but when I start to get a little bit of anxiety, boy, does my head start to sweat a little bit. Do a little bit of the flop sweat. So I'm sitting there.
The what sweat?
Flop sweat. You never heard of flop sweat?
Nah, bro.
You got to look it up in the break.
Nah, no, I don't. On the company website,
You're afraid the company's going to give you a strike.
Like a bad idea.
I understand.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. And maybe I should be talking about flop sweat when we're talking about disrobing at the dermatologist's office. That being said, it's happening. I mean, I'm just being real with you guys.
No. Okay.
It's a little nerve-wracking. Because I don't know if you could tell, Brian, I've become a little doughy in my older years.
Dad bod.
I don't necessarily have the body that I was rocking with in my 20s. Not that it was something special, but it was more special than this. And so they got to pretend like they're not fully disgusted when they're looking at this thing. Like, they got to look at this thing and go, okay.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, like they need bedside manner. Because I know if it was a dude and he was there looking, you'd hear, damn. Like, whoa, you okay, man?
Oh, boy.
Take this bag. Throw up into that thing. See, I got to go back there, and they got to check me if I've got any new dots or bumps or what have you.
It sounds crazy.
It's like you get a birthmark. You go, oh, it's a birthmark. And then they go, no, we're going to cut this chunk out of you.
Yeah.
What?
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Netflix, I've been watching The Resident.
Okay.
Every time you come in with a bump,
they want to cut it.
They got to cut something out your brain.
They got to cut it.
They got to cut something out your brain.
Brains.
So, you know, affairs in order.
That seems like a really dangerous dermatologist.
Well, they get you in the hands of a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Cardio is heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is the heart doctor cutting stuff out of your brain?
I don't know.
This sounds like a really confusing show.
That's a good show. It's on Netflix.
So I just wanted to invite you to come with me to the dermatologist office. So
Personal foul.
No. Not like that. You can manage the dermatologist doctors. Be like, whoa. A little too close. Back up a little bit. Back up. We got a special high-powered flashlight. You don't need to get so close anymore. Maybe use your phone to zoom in or something like that. Just keep your distance. That's all. Gets a little bit too close for comfort. Just say.
Job's not finished.
That's what they say when you back them up.
Listen, that's a 4-hour job. They're looking over my whole body. You got to book out the afternoon. They got to be like, sorry, we're not taking appointments today.
Oh, boy.
We'll be busy for a long time. A very long time. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Do you guys want to come with me to the dermatologist? I'll make room for all of us. When we come back, we'll talk NBA playoffs. We'll talk T. Higgins. Is that man on the move? Brandon Ayuk, is that man on the move? Did Devonta Smith just reset the wide receiver market? Lots more to come on the Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690.
Why settle for plain old vinyl? When the Fibrix window from Renewal by Andersen is twice as tough, it's also Energy Star's 2023 most energy efficient window. Right now, save $300 on every window and save $825 on all patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Minimum purchase of 3 units required for discount. Renewal by Andersen, a better way to a better window. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, boss, did you see the latest article in the Crooks R Us newsletter?
No, but I'm sure it's going to involve Safe Touch and probably give me a rash.
It says more people than ever are concerned about security, and Safe Touch Security, of course, is leading the way with new cutting-edge security systems.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it goes beyond security, too. Now Safe Touch has systems integrated with the home's thermostats, lights, door locks, oh, and of course the encrypted security cameras.
Yeah, never home alone and never away from home. I remember the slogan.
Ooh, and now Safe Touch is running a special for existing customers to upgrade their system.
Look, Skippy, this changes nothing. The Crooks R Us golden rule is still in effect. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah.
Now go find us a house without Safe Touch.
Got it, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Right now, existing Safe Touch customers can upgrade their system at 50% off. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial ** invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 4th, witness the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on May 4th for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRIP to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRIP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRIP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You and your children can find safety. Hubbard House offers free, confidential shelter and support for local survivors of domestic violence. Learn more at hubbardhouse.org.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Who is this guy?
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Not much suspense when it comes to the first overall pick in tonight's WNBA draft. Indiana Fever ready to select a household name and a major reason for the increased popularity of women's college basketball, Caitlin Clark. ESPN basketball analyst Rebecca Lobo.
She fits their pieces. Aaliyah Boston is an excellent player in the pick and roll. Well, we've seen that Caitlin is elite in that. Kelsey Mitchell, who was Indiana's leading scorer last year and an all-star, is an elite catch-and-shoot type of player. Well, she's going to get a lot of those playing alongside Caitlin. Melissa Smith is a great rim runner, and Caitlin Clark's going to be able to find her.
Rebecca Lobo on Carlin versus Joe. Draft coverage, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN. The intrigue tonight comes after Clark's drafted. LA holds the 2nd and 4th overall picks. Chicago, the 3rd overall pick. NFL Eagles extended star receiver Devontae Smith through the 2028 season. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports it's a 3-year contract, $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. Team also exercised his 5th-year option through 2025. Cisse Lema, the men's Boston Marathon winner. Helen Obiri, the women's winner for a 2nd straight year.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Talking about a lot of stuff today. We were talking football earlier. We heard Calvin Ridley may have left the Jags for reasons other than money, according to Jordan Schultz. If you missed any of that, you can find it on the podcast. We'll post it after the show at ESPN690.com or iTunes or Google Podcasts, which is now YouTube Music. Wherever you find your podcasts, you're likely to find the Aaron Schachter Show. And now on the video stream at your favorite social media platforms. Shout out to those of you in the chat. What's up, Sawyer? Nice to see you back. Sawyer wants us to be live on Twitch, Brian.
Make it happen.
Really?
You got to make it happen.
I was going to tell him to kick rocks.
Wow.
No Twitch for me.
No pun intended.
For Sawyer?
You just said it last time when you were talking about The Rock.
Well, I was talking about The Rock.
Yeah, no,
then that is a pun that I didn't intend.
No, I understand. It was
the line you just used doesn't work anymore when there is no pun to intend.
The joke,
no,
didn't hit for you.
Nope, not even close.
You determined to break that down.
I was.
Okay.
And by the way,
you want to tell us straighter for that next time so you can just
no pun intended on the breakdown. Just saying. Also, shout out to Thomas Taylor. You know, Thomas is watching on Facebook.
Hey, Tommy.
He says, all right, all right, all right. There must be a big McConaughey fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking Kevin Hart, but you're right. Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey. I guess that is a Kevin Hart thing as well, right?
Who did it first?
McConaughey, probably.
Yeah.
No one was listening to Kevin Hart back when McConaughey started to get famous.
Hey, why you say probably like that, though? I mean, if Kevin Hart's ever in your presence,
I'd have to look downward, yeah.
I'm going to have to let him know, though. I'm like, hey,
you'd have to shout it.
This
from
guy
way
said
up.
that you stole from Matthew McConaughey.
Well, you're 6'8", so
who does that?
You would need like a bullhorn to shout it down to Kevin Hart.
That's what you're doing, so you're doubling down on the jokes.
I'm not double. I'm just saying, factually, the man comes up to like your kneecap, so you'd have to speak loudly. You'd have to project. Kevin! Who said it first? You'd have to do one of those things.
Wait for the echo to get down there.
Yes, because sound travels differently than light. Yes. Hey, the NBA playoffs start tomorrow, Brian. I know you're all locked in. It's been hard for me to lock in because my Nets have been so disappointing, as they tend to be almost every year. But the brackets are out. The play-ins begin tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
For the next couple of days. You got the Kings and the Warriors. You got the Pelicans and the Lakers. That's out west. You got the Bulls and the Hawks out east. And you got the Sixers and the Heat out east. Oh, what a difference a year makes. Also in the brackets, you got the Thunder at number 1. You got the Nuggets at number 2. Clippers and Mavs 4 and 5. Timberwolves and Suns 3 and 6. Over in the East, Celtics at the number 1, Knicks at the number 2, Bucks at 3, Cavs at 4, Magic at 5, and the Pacers at 6. So obviously there are some broad storylines happening in the NBA playoffs. I would think the Oklahoma City Thunder would be one of them. The fact that rebuild way ahead of schedule Like every franchise who tries to rebuild and start over is looking at the Thunder going, yeah, like that. And it's even faster than what the Texans had going on. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are finally kind of figuring it out, at least down in the middle, down deep at the center position.
Right.
You got the Nuggets, obviously, Nikola Jokic, trying to win the MVP, trying to bring his team back to the finals. You got a bunch of storylines in the East as well. As a matter of fact, the one I'm kind of interested in, because I'm a little bit of a hater, would be what's happening with the New York Knicks.
Interesting.
A surprise number 2 seed, but without Orange Julius Randle, likely to miss the playoffs. Are the Knicks worthy of that 2 seed?
Well, the record says they are.
Yeah, the record from this season.
Well, that's how they figured it out.
Are they? I understand, but are they going to put up the fight in the playoffs is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
But then you look past it, you look at the Bucks, and you go, okay, is Giannis going to play? You look past that, and you go to the Cavs, you go, okay, is Spida healthy enough for the playoff run? I mean, you're down to the 5 seed, and the Orlando Magic, Franz and Banchero, until you finally get a roster where you're like, man, they all kind of look healthy right now.
Right.
What do you think are the big overarching stories you're looking for when it comes to the playoffs?
So, man, you named a couple of good ones. I was looking at the Knicks as well, because you look up at the end of the season, you're like, New York, you didn't completely, what'd you call it in the last block? Sweat flop?
Flop sweat.
Flop sweat your way into a
Flop
7
sweat
seed.
is a way to describe nervousness.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't nervous your way out of a top seed.
You didn't mess it up, as the Knicks had tended to do for the last, 20-something years.
You know what I mean? But I'm glad you brought that up. So one, and again, this is my bias that I'm always going to look at, is how will Coach Spo get the Heat to at least an Eastern Conference Championship series? Because that's going to happen.
Because that's just how it works for Spo.
Now they may not win it, okay? Because that's a possibility. But how does that happen? Especially when you're talking about you got Philly there, and theoretically, if they win, they got to go face potentially the Celtics. If I'm looking at this seeding right,
yes.
And the Celtics would bring me into my second storyline. There's no reason why they should not win the championship this year. And you could have made that.
Aside from them being the Celtics.
Right.
Yes.
You could make that argument probably one other time, but they've been great for the past 5, 6, 7 years. I'm talking about great.
Yeah. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets who gave them all of those stars.
And Danny Ainge for hustling. And Brad Stevens for being there, prior to Ime Udoka and now, their current head coach. If they don't win this year, I don't think you can think about blowing it up, but there has to be some kind of major shakeup. I think if any team is on
wasn't there a major shakeup this past season when they got rid of Marcus Smart? Not major enough.
You technically can say that.
Are you talking about Tatum? Who are you talking about for a shakeup?
Yeah, you got Tatum, Brown. Who's not going to be here? Because, again, contract's a little bit different, in the NBA versus the NFL. But you have everything in your favor. And you have proven, again, over a regular season that at the very least you should be considered one of the best, if not the best team in the league. It's yours to lose. Keep doing what you were doing in the regular season throughout the playoffs. You just need to do it 16 more times. And apparently, up to this point, you've done it better than anybody else for the first 82 games of the regular season. So I think that a team like Boston, I know the record looks great. You got great players. It's all smiles there.
Different look for Boston, too, this year with Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
They're playing much more tall ball than small ball.
Exactly. So if you find a way to mess this up.
I don't know. You got a guy like Jason Tatum, who you hear all the time people talk about Tatum. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the conversation for best current player in the NBA. Well, he's got to be in the top 5 conversation.
I think so, but in the biggest moments.
And that being said, he doesn't necessarily show up in those moments. Brian, how about this stat? 1 of 7 on tying or go-ahead shots in the final 10 seconds of a game. 1 of 7. And this was the critique that LeBron used to have thrown at him. Granted, LeBron, I think, grew out of that critique. But to your point, I don't know that you can count on Jason Tatum. Can you count on Kristaps Porzingis?
Now, in Jason Tatum's defense, he could say it could be worse. I could be Ben Simmons and be 0
All
for 0.
right. All right.
0 for 0.
You know, why'd you have to go there?
Because you're shooting at the Knicks, okay? Now you're shooting at Boston. I'm like,
none of these guys are your
Nets
squad.
Fan.
Yeah, that's not your squad.
Nets fan.
You got to stick up for anybody.
Another headline, though, Aaron. Another headline.
It's about how the Nets don't want to buy out Ben Simmons is a headline.
No, I'm excited to see the Timberwolves. Like,
okay.
there are a lot of young teams here. There are like Orlando. We talked about OKC.
Yep.
Excited to see all of them grow in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards is beyond that deal.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I think that he is brazen enough, confident enough, and just as talented as most in the NBA. He's a face of the league kind of guy in the next, 3 to 5 years. Can he will a team to a conference finals, to an NBA finals? They've been pretty good all year.
They have, although Karl Anthony Towns went down a while back, needed knee surgery. He's about a month removed from knee surgery. So I think the question is he rusty or not? I think the count was 14 wins without Karl Anthony Towns. The number was just 4 of those came against any of the top 6 teams of either conference. So untested for sure.
And all of that is fine. And I'm telling you, when you start looking at this guy play, it's up there with the SGAs. It's up there for what he does with his team. With the SGAs, with the Brunsons, I won't put him right in the Luka category, but for what he does and what he means to his team, I'm excited to see what that looks like with another playoff run for him and the Timberwolves. And there are a lot of other headlines here as well. I just mentioned the Magic. What are they going to do? Another young team.
Another young team ascending.
Chase Bunker over here with his blood pressure 200 over 100. I'm like, you may stroke out. You may want to calm down.
I actually had a 200 over 100 too the last time I was at the dermatologist.
That's wild. You should get that checked out as well.
Yeah.
So, and you mentioned another one, Aaron. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping from place to place, but
well, hold on before you roll off of the Magic.
Yeah.
I do think they've got a favorable path for them. I mean, outside of the fact that you may run into the Celtics, I think they match up well with the Celtics, especially as the Celtics try to play big. The Magic can play big.
Absolutely. 1 to 5, or however you want to describe the positions there. Yeah, they definitely can.
And so if Giannis isn't really up to snuff for the Bucks right now, certainly they still have Dame and the rest of the boys. But, I mean, you're talking about a path that's a little bit easier as long as he can get past one of the best teams in the NBA this season in the Celtics.
Do you think that – let me ask you this. Again, kind of jumping over, but you just popped in my head when you talked about the Bucks. Do you think that – I keep forgetting my head coach name for the Celtics. Pazula, Joe, I can't think of his name right now, but I'm going to chop up his last name no matter what. Head coach for the Celtics or Doc Rivers? Who's on the –
Joe Mazzulla is the Celtics.
Mazzulla. Who's on the bigger hot seat?
Well,
Who do you think?
I don't know that Doc makes it past this year. He was kind of Band-Aid to begin with. He kind of didn't seem like he wanted the job anyway.
Okay.
It seemed like they threw a lot of money at him to just help finish out the season.
Okay.
Maybe that's part of a bigger plan or not. I imagine when you bring over a guy like Dame Lillard and you invest a ton of money into that dude and you got Giannis, and the whole reason you brought in Dame is to keep Giannis, it's like you need to shore up the head coaching role. So I think it depends on the players and how they feel about Doc. I'm a Doc fan. I get made fun of for that. A lot of people think he's garbage. He doesn't coach well.
Can you walk me through that?
I'm a big fan of Doc Rivers.
Yeah,
I like him as a
coaching?
man. I like the way he talks to his players. I like
Okay.
the way he talks to the media. I've never played for him, so I don't know how that works. He's never coached one of my teams. I've never had that frustration either.
Right.
But I happen to like Doc Rivers, which is weird because he was a Knick a long time ago.
Interesting.
That being said, Joe Mazzulla is walking into the playoffs with one of the best teams on paper. And if there's an embarrassing exit, I don't know what kind of leash you're getting there.
Embarrassing exit for the Celtics. I mean, it's going to be not making the finals. And honestly, it's probably not winning the finals.
I'm talking significant, like a first-round exit or something like that. I mean, great, they have a bye in the first round. But if they lose the first series they're in, I don't know that you see Mazzulla back next year.
Yeah, I think if they don't make it to the finals,
You
he's
think
out
he's
of
out?
there.
Yeah.
I mean, my man down in Houston, Ime Udoka, he got him to the finals. They were giving Golden State everything that they wanted.
Wasn't the Udoka thing a different story, though? Didn't that have to do with behind-the-scenes things?
Well, no.
Front office trouble?
Well, yeah, but that's not my point why he's gone. I'm saying basically with this team with less pieces, I mean, you want to trade out Porzingis for Marcus Smart. Like, however you want to say. The team is basically the same talent-wise overall. right? Some people may argue under, the finals run, it was better, or some people might say right now it's better. But tit for tat, it's probably around the same talent level-wise. And you don't even get to the finals with this squad?
It would certainly be a
head and
disappointment.
shoulders above the rest?
Disappointment.
He's got to get to the finals, man.
Disappointment. You haven't talked about the Mavericks at all. You got Luka. You got Kyrie Irving. You got what do you got on the Mavericks?
There's reason for that. They're they're another team that they're in there. They got to start
Perennial
or two.
playoff entry and then exit is what you're saying.
I will say Luka against the Clippers in the playoffs. Get ready for some fireworks because over the past years when they've met in the playoffs, Luka has given them the business. Kawhi, no Kawhi. Paul George, no playoff P on there, don't matter. He was cooking them multiple games, multiple series, so I do expect that. But it's two teams that, I guess if they get hot, they can make some noise. But honestly, Aaron, overall, I honestly expect Denver to be back into the finals.
You just mentioned the Clippers.
Yeah.
Somewhat of a disappointing year for the Clippers after they brought James Harden in. No? You don't think this is disappointing?
No. I just don't. I don't know what they expected to get from James Harden that would push them above the Denver Nuggets. Now, I will say OKC was a bit of a surprise and Minnesota was, but
what they got was 16.5 points a game. I don't think they were expecting that. I think they thought they were getting a little bit more from James Harden. 5 rebounds a game, but the man has been distributing the rock in a way that the team definitely needed.
And he started doing this, honestly, in his time in Philly, even though it was kind of, iffy with the play and what they were expecting point-wise. So, I think if they came in with blinders expecting first half of the Brooklyn Nets run James Harden or Houston James Harden, then that's on them. I don't think he is that player. And honestly, I don't think that's what Ty Lue is asking him to do on that squad now with the other names that they have there. Yes, you are a scoring option. You're not our main scoring option.
Well, they don't
have
need
other talent.
They don't need James Harden to score 30 when you're playing with guys like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Right. But I do think when you're bringing in James Harden, you're expecting more than 16 a game. Ultimately, he becomes your point guard at 8.5 assists. He's actually literally playing point guard next to Terrence Mann. But I don't know, man. That's not what I think you bring him in there for. I think you bring him in there to run a 3-man offense, and you can't do that when James Harden is hurt and Kawhi Leonard's hurt. Yeah. By the way, Kawhi working on knee inflammation.
Oh, boy.
His status for the series up in the air. Yeah, the Clippers are one of these teams that just never ended up becoming what everyone hoped they would be. How they lasted this long with those two together, I don't understand. It's just people dragging their feet on restructuring a roster.
Both of those teams are great. Both of those players are great. But the injuries to Kawhi, I can remember. I thought he was going to the Lakers, messed around, went to the Clippers. Couldn't tell the few Clippers fans on the face of the earth, you couldn't tell them nothing. You couldn't tell them a thing. Kawhi me a river.
Kawhi me a river.
That's all I was hearing.
Love it.
The new king of L.A. And I was like, y'all know a whole LeBron James, the best to ever do it is right across the hallway, right?
They said never heard of her.
They probably did. And I was just like, all right, so you're right. It's still disappointing, even though, again, they're making playoff runs. I can remember a time when the Clippers and playoffs were not synonymous. That was not a thing. So I don't expect anything to come out of the Clippers-Mavericks matchup in the way of, hey, these guys are in contention for a title. But I guess when you have a superstar or a superstar and a half, whatever you want to deem Kyrie for the Mavericks.
A superstar.
Okay, 2 superstars in Luka and Kyrie. And when you have Kawhi and Paul George, barring health issues, I guess you have a puncher's chance.
We haven't talked about the Phoenix Suns yet.
What's there to talk about?
One of the enigmas of the NBA. Shout out to Grayson Allen, by the way. Jacksonville's Grayson Allen getting a big contract today. Or at least it was announced.
Good for him.
Got the extension today. I think it was $70 million. Devin Booker.
Oh, boy.
That's the NBA, Brian. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and then you can count Grayson Allen and Nurkic if you want. But you talk about a trio resistant to, being the guy, being the leader, being the dude in charge. Who's the sheriff? It's like the Spider-Man meme. Everyone's pointing at each other.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with the Phoenix Suns?
Don't put your money on them, on the Hard Rock app.
Don't do that. They're coming in as the 6th seed. They play the Timberwolves. It's a tough matchup, especially when you consider the Timberwolves' defense and size. I don't think anyone's expecting him to move forward. But when you're talking about guys like Kevin Durant in the playoffs, when you're talking about guys like Devin Booker or Bradley Beal, like you're talking about a puncher's chance with the Clippers, the Suns, I think, could beat anyone on any given day. They just don't.
Well, again, that's a fair statement. That would still be something that would take more faith than I am willing to give Phoenix. When they decimated their bench this past offseason in order to bring in some of the pieces that they brought in, I was like, bold move, and it may work through the regular season enough to get you into the playoffs and keep you out of the play-in at the very least. What happens when you need to go 6-7 deep in the playoff rotation because there's foul trouble in the game or there's a deal with an injury or something like that?
Especially when one of your lead guys has got the bald spot in the back of the head, you know he's up there in years. And Kevin Durant, I'm talking about.
I understood who you were going. Very descriptive, though. No pun intended. Did I use it right?
Oh,
did I use that right?
There it goes.
I did use it right?
I think so.
I was just trying to do it as a joke. But, yeah, no faith in the Suns. Honestly, I think coming out of the West, it'll probably be the Nuggets versus the Thunder, looking at the breakdown right now.
You got to go chalk out of the West. It's the East that gets a little topsy-turvy, I think. Because I believe the Celtics make it to the final round. I don't believe the Knicks are getting there.
Yeah. Magic they're a funny
Magic
bunch,
got a
man.
shot, man.
Magic got a funny, they're a funny bunch.
I think I'm picking the Magic to play the Celtics in the East Finals.
I think that it would probably have to go, honestly, I'm going to go with Miami. That's the bias talking, and also the history of like the past 5 seasons where it's just like, really, they're still winning? So I'm going to go Miami, and I'm going to make it all Florida. Orlando versus Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals.
If Jimmy Butler brings back emo Jimmy hair,
it's over.
I'll be all Miami for the playoffs. But he's got to bring it back. Hey, Grayson Allen, shout out to him. 4-year, $70 million contract extension, includes a player option. That keeps him from being an unrestricted free agent for a few more years. Started 73 games, 13.5 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 33.5 minutes a game, 46.1 on three-pointers in the NBA this season.
You remember when he was a jerk and he was just tripping people, like being dirty adjacent player? You remember that?
I don't got a problem with that kind of behavior. I'm a Jason Kidd fan. Jason Kidd did it as a player. No, Jason Kidd did it as a coach.
Nah, he wasn't.
Jason Kidd is coach of the Nets.
Tibias.
Gave someone a kneecap to the thigh.
I got to pull it up on YouTube. I don't know about that one.
Good stuff. Sierra and Schachter Show. Hey, when we come back, I want to get back to the NFL. The wide receiver market has seen some movement. You had a big-time contract signed by a young guy, and then you've got news on a couple of guys who are already on contracts but might be moving sometime soon. We'll talk about it next on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Get on in at ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny and warm on this Monday. The nice weather from the weekend rolls right into today. Daytime highs will be up to around 85 to 86 in Jacksonville. And then tonight, it's going to be mild. Overnight lows dropping to 60. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands, only at Beard's Diamonds. Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Small business owners are faced with an endless array of challenges, and security for today's business is right up there at the top of the list. You should know that in addition to top-notch security systems, SafeTouch Security offers smarter solutions for your business. SafeTouch provides 24/7 video surveillance and a whole lot more. Get video alerts from motion detection cameras, customized and controlled from the mobile app. And introducing SafeTouch's Business Activity Analytics, which helps optimize how your business runs. Monitor crowd gathering, traffic flow, queue monitoring, and that's just the start. SafeTouch isn't just a security company. They're more like a business partner helping to keep an eye on your business. Now that's peace of mind. Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses, and SafeTouch businesses are no different. Right now, SafeTouch Security is offering a once-a-year deal which can save you up to 50% on your commercial-grade security package. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
My son and I just built a rabbit hutch for 2 bunnies he got the girls for Easter. That gives them a dog, 3 cats, a snake, a gecko, and 2 bunnies. At Zerez, we love pets. If you're a pet lover and need some help cleaning up after those furry friends, give Zerez a call. For April, Zerez is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zerez, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerez. Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, it's Malavia Washington here, former professional tennis player. If you've heard of my youth foundation, great. If not, or even if you have, grab your mobile device or computer and head to malwashington.com. Again, that's malwashington.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Going to talk a little more NFL right here, but real quick, Brian, before we get to the NFL, I did want to mention a clip that we grabbed from the NBA. I think it was last night. You know, we talked about the Miami Marlins and how they had a specific promo, all-you-can-eat seat night, where you pay $52 to get a seat, and you can do all you can eat in that seat. We've talked to the Jumbo Shrimp about the different promos they do. And, you know, all kinds of teams do all different promos. Well, I guess there's a promo out in L.A. where some company will give the entire stadium, whoever can show they're at the game, free chicken if someone misses on back-to-back free throws in the fourth quarter. So you fast forward to last night where Boban... I always mess up his last name. Marjanovic is at the free throw line. 76% free throw shooter. But notoriously nice dude. I mean, just a reputation for being one of the sweetest humans on earth. And then this goes down.
Fans are getting excited here. There might potentially be some free chicken on the board if he misses the second free throw.
Oh, man, free chicken on the board.
At this point, while the broadcasters are talking about the free chicken on the board, Boban's looking at the crowd. He's pointing at the fans, And he's throwing up the number 1 sign. And not the angry number 1 sign, not the tall man.
Okay.
He's throwing up the pointer finger like, I got you guys.
Okay.
I'm here for you. Now, granted, Boban does not play for the Clippers. He plays for the Rockets. So he's the visiting team, but they're up by like 10 or 15 or whatever it was at the end of the game.
Yeah, so that's why the fans are getting a little frothy.
It's bubbling up. Fans are getting a little bit frothy.
Fans are getting excited here. There might potentially be some free chicken on the board if he misses the second free throw.
Oh, man, free chicken on the board.
Yeah, so that's why the fans are getting a little frothy.
Oh, they're pointing to you. Boban's playing with the crowd saying, you want chicken?
Like, it's almost a wrestling promo at this point. He's pointing all around. He's cutting the promo. He's like, who wants the chicken? in his accent, obviously.
Here's your job.
Oh, he gave him chicken. He's a man of the people. He's a man of the people.
He did that on purpose?
He did. He gave out free chicken.
So he basically misses the free throw, and he does the whole, I am the winner, as he's running back down court. And by the way, they end up going right at him on defense in the low post. Like, you couldn't just say thank you to the dude for the chicken. They got to go right at him in the low post.
Here's the thing, too. If you get a chance to see this video, do it. Because the dude, when he shoots it, I get he's trying to miss. It actually looks like a pretty good
Yeah, he rims it out a little bit, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
That's how good he is. 76% career average for a big man. Come on.
Super impressive because he has pretty
large
shot. Hands.
Yeah.
Can I say that without a pause? Okay.
Why do you need a pause? It's a
I
fact.
don't know. I just feel you got to ask
it's
questions
factual,
in 2024.
bro. You know what they say about people with large hands?
Here we go.
They got large fingers, large gloves.
Personal foul. Feels like it needed to be there. Wait, your tone. It was your tone.
Hey, let's get to the wide receivers for a second because this is something that still concerns the Jaguars. Jaguars, obviously, scouting wide receivers in the draft. And still, if you want to count them, still in play for maybe a guy like Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins, although I've gone on the radio and said that I believe there is 0% chance either one of those guys end up in Jacksonville. Now, here's what we've heard on Brandon Ayuk so far this offseason. We heard that the Niners were having conversations with teams. We heard a mysterious, what's the word when you have nobody step up to claim the report? I'm losing my word right here.
I can't. Is it a punchline here, or are you really asking?
No punchline. I'm really asking.
You're asking one more time. Give me one more time.
What's it called when you have a report, but you don't know who said it? It's not verified. It's an unverified report, essentially.
Yeah, unverified.
You had an unverified report out of Jacksonville over across the street, Brian, where she was basically saying, oh, the Niners are looking for Zay Jones and pick number 17 for Brandon Ayuk.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if that's actually what was happening, I feel like the Jags would have jumped at it, but fine, whatever. Then you hear from John Lynch, the owners meeting, Ayuk is not on the trading block. Forget about it. Forget about it. Then some more smoke. No deal happens. You're starting to hear reports. The Niners and Ayuk very far apart on a deal. The Niners are actually notorious for waiting until the last possible second to sign big deals, a.k.a. Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, and the like. So here comes Brandon Ayuk the other day unfollowing the Niners on Instagram.
Yeah.
Get him off my social medias.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
There's been smoke with the Steelers for a long time now. Steelers need a wide receiver opposite George Pickens. Right? Tomlin loves Ayuk. Ayuk and Tomlin kind of look the same. Ayuk pointed it out. Maybe it's a long-lost dad or something. Whatever it is. There's a little smoke there. So that's just one thing right now. Then there was a report that was on Pro Football, that was on Twitter, from Legend Sports that said Brandon Ayuk is officially requested a trade from the Niners per my source. Well, watch out for Mike Florio, one of the most hated writers to ever be hated out of Jacksonville. Not that Mike Florio is out of Jacksonville. We just have a list of writers we hate. You got Tony Kornheiser up there. Yeah. You got Skip Bayless up there.
What's the other one?
Mike Florio's up there.
What's the other guy? Old guy on TV.
Tony Kornheiser.
Nah, the other one, Woody Page.
Oh, really? Is he hated in Jacksonville?
Yeah, he got goofy around the same Super Bowl time.
All these national writers, goofy.
Yeah.
In any case, Mike Florio goes, you need better sources, bro. Actually, it was Ayuk's agent who replied to the tweet, you need better sources, and then Florio went in and discovered, yeah, none of that is true. He has not demanded any trade. But by the way, he doesn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, wheels are moving in some direction or another. Either you're going to sign to a big deal or you're going to get kicked. You're going to get bounced. And it looks like maybe the Steelers are hot to trot there. Don't count out the Bills either. They're not about to send Josh Allen into the season with literally 0 targets on the team. So I feel like any wide receiver who's available, the Bills might be in on. Then we hear that the Eagles have signed an extension with their number 2 wide receiver, Devonta Smith.
Big money. Yeah.
Former Heisman. Devonta Smith got a deal that is reportedly worth, according to Schefter, $75 million with $51 guaranteed. They also exercised his 5th-year option. It's going to give him a salary of $16 million for this year. Man's cashing in.
Do your thing, man.
$75 million over 3 years. It's averaging around $25 million a season. So you got Tyreek Hill at 30, Devontae Adams at 28, Cooper Kupp at 26.7, A.J. Brown at 25, and now Devonta Smith at 25. Interesting. So, fast forward, looking at over at Dallas. They got a whole CD Lamb up for an extension. But Jerry Jones has backed himself into a corner. Jerry Jones is dealing with a $60 million Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones is dealing with one of the best defenders in the NFL in Micah Parsons, need an extension as well. And so now there's all these rumors that Micah might get traded. Dak might get traded. The Cowboys may move up and grab one of these quarterbacks. All kinds of smoke coming out of Dallas. None of it has to do with paying anybody. But you better believe CeeDee Lamb is looking for a new deal because CeeDee Lamb has decided he's skipping the offseason program. Ain't coming. Ain't coming. Will it change if they sign him to the extension? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he's not that dude. Maybe he's one of these guys who wants nothing to do with it till it's mandatory. That's his choice. That's why it's mandatory and voluntary. You would love to see your players on the voluntary workouts. It's not always how it works.
Volunteer some more money, man. And I will volunteer this workout.
So then we get to T. Higgins. I find the T. Higgins thing pretty interesting for this reason. I believe there were 5 guys franchise tagged this offseason. 5 guys franchise tagged in the 2024 offseason. Can we remember their names? You had Michael Pittman Jr., who was re-signed to an extension. Certainly you got Josh Allen, who was re-signed to an extension. You got Antoine Winfield, who they're negotiating with a record extension with the Bucs, if it's not done already. Kyle Duggar, who was re-signed to an extension. Jalen Johnson, who was re-signed to an extension. Do you see where we're going here? Right. Justin Madubuike, re-signed to an extension. Every single breathing human being who was signed to the franchise tag this offseason has been signed to their extension except one T. Bartholomew Higgins. What does it mean? Are the Bengals dragging their feet because they got to hold Jamar Chase they got to figure out? Or do they not intend on carrying T. Higgins long term? They caught up with T. Higgins at the Bengals activities. Listen to this, Bri.
Do you anticipate playing for the Bengals this year?
We'll see.
Does that make you feel confident?
Yo, hey, man.
We'll see. Does that make you feel confident?
No, man.
There was more
for the Bengals this year?
We'll see. I do anticipate it. You know, Cincy is, I've grown a, I love for Cincy that I didn't think I would, but, man, looking forward to it.
All right, timeout. Because not only was a little shaky up front.
Right.
The comment was, I've grown a love for Cincy. I didn't think I would. You're not saying, hey, I've got a passion for this city that I didn't expect. You're saying I've grown to like this place. And coming in here, I did not think that was going to be the case.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there are ways you want to hear players talk about your team. When they asked Gabe Davis how he felt when the Jaguars called, you remember what he said?
Thank goodness.
Thank God the Jaguars called. When they asked Mitch Morse, he was like, I got to go play with Doug. Gotta. I know the Bears are on the other line. Gotta. Josh Allen, are you mad? We'll figure it out. I want to be here. I want to be here.
T. Higgins called up Calvin Ridley before this little interview press conference I see, because that energy was
not great.
Ridley-esque.
Not great. This is 2 things to me.
Yeah.
Number one, it says a trade is in the works, and this man didn't feel comfortable lying on the spot. Right? Because they asked him, and he's like, we'll see, and then he smiles at the guy. Or he's just trolling the media, which, look, you could do as a player. I'm almost in favor of it. It's kind of fun. That being said, you certainly don't want to hear the back end of that, which is, hey, look, I kind of like it here, and I didn't think I would. I've grown a love for the city that I didn't expect. But that doesn't sound like, yeah, man, I want to be here for the rest of my career. I want to retire a bungle.
Listen, dude, if he's being 100 about it, I got to be real with you. I'm not mad at the honest response.
No, because we're not Bengals fans. But if you were in Cincy and this was your dude, this is maybe your number 3 dude, now without Joe Mixon.
Okay.
Like, don't you want if Evan Ingram or Christian Kirk, if they go to them and be like, hey, you're playing here next year, and they're like, yeah, I kind of grew love for Jacksonville I didn't see coming. Like, you're not, like, maybe you find it as a compliment, but you're not blown away by it. It's not, thank God the Jaguars called.
So you want them to lie. You want him.
I don't.
The Cincinnati fan wants him to lie.
No, I desire players that want to be in my city.
Okay.
I desire players that ride for my town.
Then what would you have him say in that scenario then?
Talk to my agent.
We would be sitting right here. I mean, we'd be cooking him right now if we did it.
If the Bengals wanted me to play here, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. That's what I would have said. I would have put it right back on the general manager.
And maybe that's what he's doing in a more coy way. I know you gave 2 options of why he answered the way he did, but maybe he does still want to play in Cincinnati, but maybe this is another ounce of pressure. This is another way to make some semi amount of friction with the way that he responded in a trollish kind of way. And it's not like there's a trade already in the works, which probably is. But maybe he's just like, hey, man, I'm going to answer like this. I know that I'm not dumb, okay? I know this is going to garner more discussion, especially from some of the greats down there in Jacksonville, Florida. And, I'm going to answer like this because I'm not getting what I want, what I feel like I deserve with my new contract. Just saying.
You got Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati, 29 years old.
Okay.
Signed a 1-year, $21 million deal. You got Jamar Chase looking at an extension that's going to run you north of 30. He's getting more than Tyreek Hill got. I'm positive. You got Joe Burrow, who you paid, $52-55 million to. You're not paying another wide receiver $30 million. You got no money for nobody else. Just those 3 guys. 30, 60, and then 50 on top of that, 110. Salary cap's only 250. You got a whole 60-plus guys to pay. So I don't understand what T. Higgins thinks is going to happen out there. He's either going to play this year on the tag and go, or he's going to get traded. But, the Coy games don't make any sense to me. They don't make any sense to me.
Maybe he wants to force a trade faster then.
Okay, if you want out, then put it back on the GM.
Well, he did it in his way. If he just put it right back on the GM, he'd be the bad guy. There'd be a faction of people who understand why he's doing it the way he does, but the majority of people will be like, the player needs to be able to handle it more professionally. So he's like, no, I'm going to answer this the way
I think saying to the media after that question, if the Bengals wanted me here, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I think that is more professional than scrubbing your team from your social media.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't comfortable with confrontation.
These are football players.
No, I'm talking about the people who are going to perceive this, going to hear this.
Okay.
So even from the fans who are probably very confrontational when they've had a couple of drinks at the game, they're probably not comfortable with confrontation coming from the players like that. So, no, I don't agree. I think that he handled it in a way. If he's trying to force a trade, especially, okay, I see it. It's a bit of a chess game. Move your tail faster. Ownership, front office, get me out of here since you ain't going to have the money for me.
They want him. They want to make a run at the playoffs with him.
Well, I understand that.
They got him 1 more year on cheap money.
And we'll see.
Has Tyler Boyd signed anywhere? Is he still hanging around?
I didn't know he's still alive. He's still alive?
He's a free agent this offseason, but he's one of the free agents that'll get picked up, I think, a little closer to the draft. I guess Tyler Boyd was in Pittsburgh, checking out the scene, doing a little interview here and there. I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh does need a lot of help.
You say they do?
Yeah, they shipped out Deontay Johnson. It's just Pickens now. I guess Freiermuth. But you need some wide receivers. You just brought in 2 big-time quarterbacks. You got to have somebody to throw to.
Oh, I'm glad you finally giving Justin Fields his due. after all the downplaying.
I like Justin Fields. What are you talking about?
Give him some downplay there.
I don't know about that.
You were like, he couldn't hold Caleb Williams.
Do you listen to the same show that I listen to?
Yeah, every day.
All right.
Yeah, every day, man. 3 to 5.
I know, you're telling me I'm shooting at Balky. I'm shooting at Justin Fields.
You definitely shot at Balky.
Never shot at either one of these guys.
You definitely shot at Balky over and over again.
Oh, I don't know about over and over again. I've certainly given him credit for some of the missteps.
Oh, man, okay.
Nothing like you've given. Oh, I see.
Credit for the missteps. Senator Schachter, everybody.
ESPN 690 back in a minute.
Touch a Truck is back Saturday morning, April 20th at the Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. Come see fire trucks, police cars, school buses, the Ghostbuster Mobile, and more. It's National Healthy Kids Day, so come out and get active. 2 horn-free hours are available thanks to Arlington Toyota and Dogtopia. Sign up in advance for your free tickets at ESPN690.com. Touch a Truck is sponsored by Jack C. Wilson Roofing, Snyder Heating and Air, Duval Charter Schools, Flagler, and World's Greatest HVAC.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Beards Diamonds always drives the big diamond store crazy with their direct from the cutter best pricing. But this time of year, they get very agitated.
Did you hear that? What? Beards is doing it again! The BOGO on wedding bands!
Yes, Beards Diamonds' most popular sale is back.
All wedding bands are buy one, get one free.
Plus, all stackables, all right-hand rings, all eternity bands, and more are buy one, get one free.
Couples wait for this sale all year.
Choose from hundreds of the latest styles from famous designers at beardsdiamonds.com.
Or shop in person to see the largest collection of wedding bands in North Florida at the guaranteed lowest price.
Buy any wedding band and get the other band free.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Now you can go bigger and better with the band she's always dreamed of during Beards Buy One, Get One sale, going on now.
Remember, don't buy anywhere until you shop Beards Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey, boss, did you see the latest article in the Crooks R Us newsletter?
No, but I'm sure it's gonna involve Safe Touch and probably give me a rash.
It says more people than ever are concerned about security, and Safe Touch Security, of course, is leading the way with new cutting-edge security systems.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it goes beyond security, too. Now Safe Touch has systems integrated with the home's thermostats, lights, door locks, and of course the encrypted security cameras.
Yeah, never home alone and never away from home. I remember the slogan.
Ooh, and now Safe Touch is running a special for existing customers to upgrade their system.
Look, Skippy, this changes nothing. The Crooks R Us golden rule is still in effect. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah.
Now go find us a house without Safe Touch.
Got it, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Right now, existing Safe Touch customers can upgrade their system at 50% off. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
You're pregnant. How far? 1 month, 2. No doctor yet. I can't afford it. Protect yourself and your baby. The health department can help you out. Test for STDs. I don't have diseases. You don't know. You don't always have symptoms. STDs make you and your baby sick. I don't want my baby sick. No one cares more about your baby than you. I'm calling my county health department.
A message from the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
UNCF salutes HBCUs. Each year, UNCF awards more than 10,000 scholarships and helps 60,000 students build better futures. Go to uncf.org right now to donate. Remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Touch a Truck is back. Saturday, April 20th at the Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come see fire trucks, police cars, school buses, and more. It's National Healthy Kids Day, so come out and get active. Get your free tickets and more info at ESPN690.com.
Filthy bed. Nice choice. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690, about to wrap it up, as we tend to do at the end of the show. I'd like to play a little game. It's called What Did I Learn Today? If you learned anything on the Aaron Schachter Show today from either Brian or I, or one of the guys we heard audio from, T. Higgins, Jordan Schultz, give us a call, 904-362-9901. A couple more minutes to get in before we close it out. Brian, I hope you learned a bunch of stuff today, because I know I did.
Okay, nice.
I'll kick it off with this. I learned T. Higgins and Brendan Ayuk are doing it wrong, man. They're trying to take it all on their shoulders, erasing their team from social media or trying to play with reporters. Just put it on the GM's shoulders. You want to get paid? Blame it on him for why you're unhappy. Do you want to play in Cincinnati? I'd love to. If Cincinnati wanted me to play here, GM would have done something about it. That's what I learned today.
Wow.
What did you learn?
It's actually a very solid, what did I learn? Okay.
All right.
I mean,
that's like my first one.
Thought there was mostly like, jokes, but that was actually a really good one.
But I felt moved on this one.
No, it was good. It was good. Let's see. First one I learned, Aaron Schachter, Titans GM taught me, if a team wants to land a Calvin Ridley level talent, start off your sales pitch by being from the same state, which is Florida.
Yeah, he did say we're both from Florida.
Sold. Huh? Sold.
That was slide 2 in his PowerPoint.
That's what I learned.
We're both from Florida.
In case I'm a GM ever.
I learned that you think Kyrie Irving's half a superstar.
1 3/4.
I mean, most amount of games he's played since 2018. He's scoring over 25 points a game, over 5 assists, 5 rebounds, almost a steal and a half. Dude's bona fide.
Listen, best
handles
ball,
in the NBA, yes.
Best ball handler
in the NBA.
Okay?
Personal foul.
Best ball handler in the NBA. But,
yes.
Superstar?
Superstar.
Star. Superstar?
Super duper star. You learn anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Next one. Let's see. I learned that Aaron Schachter's multiple beefs with pretty snow bunny actresses, which he tried to clear up, mainly Margot Robbie,
I feel
Charlize Theron, is as unsettling as his full body cavity search at the dermatologist.
Let me go ahead and ask
unsettling, both of them.
Let me go ahead and ask you a question. You can go ahead, turn up your mic and silence everything else while we listen to your answer. What qualifies an actress as a snow bunny actress?
The amount of melanin in her skin? How do you want to? I don't know what else to tell you, man.
To this day.
Thank you, Deontay Wilder.
Okay, just checking. I just want to know how you qualify. Technically, that means I could be a snow bunny actress.
It's 2024, I guess. I guess anything is possible.
Don't you insult me. How dare you?
Hey, I'm not Hey, if I run for mayor, I don't need him to pull anything saying, what did you do in 2024?
You almost stole my last, what did I learn?
Okay.
I thought you were going that direction, and then you bailed out at the last second.
I did.
I learned Calvin Ridley left Jacksonville, not for the money, but because he fell for Rand Carthon's Men's Warehouse pitch. You thought it was the Florida pitch. We're both from Florida. But instead it was the, you're going to love the way you look in Nashville, is what he said to him.
Guaranteed.
You're going to love the way you look, is what he said. And he stole that, obviously, from the Men's Warehouse, who have done very well with it these past couple of years. Shout out to the Men's Warehouse and Town Center here in Jacksonville.
Hey, I got a couple of suits from there.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, man.
The big and tall section, I think.
Yeah, man. That's when I thought I was going to be in TV.
I would love to see some of those demo tapes.
Oh, I can show it to you right now.
We'd have to bring those in and put them on the video stream and break them down a little bit.
Hold on. They got me some job offers, Aaron Schachter.
Oh!
I'll let you see them, man. Now, don't look.
Must have been terrible job offers. You're sitting here pushing buttons for me.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
They want everything. I don't have any kids yet, and they wanted some of them TV contracts, man.
They're giving nothing.
Let me get the first 2 kids as well. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean?
Those TV contracts do get a little bit weird when you start talking about non-competes.
Oh,
they don't
boy.
let you work anywhere.
They're like, for the next decade, if you quit here early, you got to pay back, and you can't in a market 50 or above. I'm like, well, okay.
Might as well lock me up. I'm going to have to commit crimes to make some money.
Wow, man. TV at the local level especially, I'm sure it gets crazier the higher you go up. Woo-wee, boy. Get yourself an agent.
This has been the Aaron Schachter Show. This nonsense, this mess has been the Aaron Schachter Show. We'll be back again tomorrow from 3 to 5. Don't forget, you can find the show every day on the podcast we post at all your favorite podcast forums. And now, new and improved, back to the video stream. If you guys want to watch, you can rewatch it again at Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. It's been fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow on ESPN 690.
Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Jacksonville.
Meet Mike Lester.
Talent is not going to be the right choice for every single person out there, right? Because everybody is different. We do well when our clients do well. We're literally sitting on the same side of the table with them. We're in this together.
Yeah.
When you do well, I'll do well. Once we have that understanding, then we can come up with a plan that's designed to help you be successful in retirement.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
You know, people ask me all the time, why buy from Arlington Toyota? And when they do, here's what I tell them. Let's start with peace of mind. When you buy any new Toyota from Arlington, their lifetime warranty goes with you. That's unlimited time and unlimited miles. Plus, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one you do. And you even get a complimentary car wash with your service visit. Now you know why you should buy from Arlington. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Are you passionate about addressing health disparities and improving the health of your neighbors? You could be the next American Heart Association First Coast Leader of Impact. Join the 2023 class of changemakers and compete to raise funds for life-saving research and inspire lasting change in our community. The campaign kicks off on World Heart Day, September 29th. Nominate yourself or another local leader by contacting AHA First Coast at heart.org today.